Rob, Kate, David, and cryptproject watchers. Today is Wednesday. I'm going to start out this vlog with one word and one word only, and that word is cherries! So we've lived in this house for 2 years, and there's a ton of fruit trees in the backyard, all of which have been kind of disappointing in their output. But finally, after 2 years of living here, the cherry tree in the backyard has produced a wonderful load of really good pie cherries. So I'm looking forward to eating about 3 pies worth this summer. Now, some of you watching this may be wondering why I have this awkward little suntan line right here. Well, I'm showing it off because that's kind of my punishment for not posting a video on Friday. I think Rob mentioned in one of his vlogs last week that I was going to be gone for the weekend and not posting on Friday because I was going to be at a music festival. And he was right, I was. I went to the Wakarusa Music Festival in Lawrence, which is this great big music festival that they have every year at Clinton Lake State Park. Usually it costs about $150 to get in for all 4 days, but I got in for free because I was helping a group of people recycle there. I worked about 8 hours total, 4 hours on Friday evening and 4 hours on Saturday morning. And between that and standing outside a whole lot, nothing was inside. I didn't sleep inside, I camped out. I got a pretty nasty sunburn. In fact, it still hurts a lot. But enough about sunburns. On to the good stuff, what I did and what I saw. Now, as you might expect, Wakarusa is just completely crawling with crazy hippies. On Friday night, I saw this one guy speeding down a hill, riding his skateboard while playing his banjo at top speed, and surprisingly well, actually. I also saw this guy covered in blue polka dots at the Mates of State show. Which brings us to the next item of importance, the concerts. Who did I see? On Friday, I saw Mates of State, obviously, you saw the picture from that. And on Saturday, I saw Alejandro Escovedo, who, if you have not heard of, please do check out his music. He is absolutely amazing. He sounds a lot like John Hyatt or T-Bone Burnett, kind of old school, country western tinged rock. Just really, really great stuff, and even better live. So if you do ever get the chance to see him in concert, just do see him in concert. I really cannot stress that enough. I also saw a surprising amount of headliners, since Wakarusa tends to be kind of a smaller, lesser-known festival. I saw Cake, I saw part of the Ben Folds concert. Most of it I skipped out on because I was just so completely miserable, and I was sunburned, I was tired, and there were a ton of really tall people blocking my way. But if you want to know my favorite part of the whole weekend, it was the Flaming Lips. I mean, really, if you're a Lips fan, you wouldn't be surprised at that. Their show was just wonderful and full of joy and happiness and psychedelic and completely off the wall. And, of course, for those of you who have been to a Flaming Lips concert, you'll know that I saw this. And this. And this, too. In case you need an explanation for those last few clips, and come to think of it, you probably do. The video is of Wayne Coyne, the Flaming Lips lead singer, tumbling around inside of a giant hamster ball, which is something they do at every show. The first picture is of a bunch of Teletubbies dancing on the side of the stage next to a giant monarch costume. They actually picked the Teletubbies out about an hour before the show out of the crowd, which is something that I really want to do the next time I go to a Flaming Lips show, and there will be a next time, trust me. And the other picture is of more Teletubbies dancing with a guy dressed in a sun costume. Saturday night was the Ben Folds show, and like I said, I kind of wimped out about 5 songs in because I was really tired, I was really sunburned, I was in a lot of pain, people just kept pushing past me and getting in my way, and there were a ton of tall people standing in front of me, so I couldn't actually see them, which really sucked. So after a while, I just figured it wasn't worth it, and I decided that I would go back to the camp. But it turned out to be a pretty good night for me because I got to meet Wayne Coyne, the guy in the hamster ball. I was on my way to the first aid tent to get some aloe for my nasty sunburn and hoping that would dull the pain, and on the way I passed this tent where they were showing a movie that the guys in the Flaming Lips had made, and Wayne Coyne was standing outside of the tent signing autographs and talking to about 5 or 10 people waiting in line. So I figured, why not stand in line, stop by, and say hi? And so I did, and he was really one of the nicest people you could ever hope to meet, and very gracious, and very obviously aware of the impact that his music has had on all the fans. And just listening to all the stories that they had to tell, taking pictures, and just really one of the greatest people. He even let me take a picture with him. See what I mean? Super, super nice. So that's been my life for the last few days. I tried really hard to make this video as short as I could, but there's been a lot going on, you gotta admit, so I'm sorry it ran kinda long. Kate, I will see you on Friday.